Hi, welcome to A Beautiful Day to Crochet. I'm Shannon Seaver, and I thought I would share some things going on. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite podcasts or vlogs on YouTube right now, and I'm going to show some works in progress that I have right now and finished objects, and just kind of talk about what's going on in life. As you can see, it is sunny here in Minnesota, and the snow is pretty much gone. It is it's supposed to be in the 50s today. So let me just show you, see if I can show you what it looks like outside here. As you can see through my window, it is just pretty outside. So I am wearing a scarf made by one of my favorite designers, and this is by Toni Lipsey. My brain chill. So anyway, this is the Loveland shawl, and I made it the Loveland light because I used fingerling weight yarn instead. But this is a Tunisian crochet, and so this was made as you can see. It's one of my favorite, and it's kind of, actually the light is a little bit from the window is kind of making it hard to see it, but I made this with a painted yarn, and it was by Artfeel Solo, and it's a discontinued color now, so unfortunately I can't even get it, but that's what I made this out of. And then the other color I made with this to kind of go along with it is actually Wool Like by Loops and Threads out of Michael's. So that's what I made the other color with. I'm going to later, she's one of my favorite vloggers. I'm going to show you her YouTube channel, and I will also share her website with you. And the second one I wanted to show you, finished object, is the Cross Me Knot Shawl. The Cross Me Knot Shawl is by Gnome, and her name is Jenna. And I will link this to the bottom of the screen to her Ravelry site. But this is what I made. And I like to think of this as kind of I'm going to try to get it where it's not being affected by the sunshine. But there you can see it. This color is something that I've really liked to use because it reminds me of sea glass. It's something that I discovered in Europe when I went backpacking with my children through Europe, and every beach we went to, I picked up some sea glass. So I thought I would show you a little bit of sea glass that I picked up. I got it in Europe, and I keep it in this crystal little vase, I guess you call it. This is something that we don't really have in the United States that I've noticed. I've been to many beaches in Florida and in New York and the East Coast, but I've never noticed this. But if you can see in my hand, sea glass. So anyway, back to the shawl. I felt like the color in that was a lot like the sea glass, and maybe you can see that now. And so I've noticed that I've been really attracted to that color that type of colorway a lot this year because of that experience in Europe that I had with my 2 oldest children. I dropped something. Oh, there it is. And so anyway, I made this with that color. And that one is also a solo color. And it is called Freedom, the Freedom colorway by Artfill Solo. And I used 2 skeins of this yarn. Well, no, 1 skein of this yarn to make this shawl. It was really, really fun to learn how to do this kind of a cross stitch type of knitting. I have never done one like that before. And it went really pretty fast, actually. So it's very soft and just love the color. So anyway, thank you, Jenna from Fiber Gnome, for picking me to do a test knit. This was my very, very first test knit. I've never done a test knit before. And it was actually really fun. I will do it again for sure because it was fun to be able to interact with the designer, and Jenna was very gracious with me and was good at getting back with me, and if I had a question on how to do something, she was great. So I'm looking forward to see what else she has out there in the future. So I thought I'd share some happenings this week. Basically, it was our first week of 2 of the 4 grades in our high school coming all back into the building. And so while it was a little scary for those kids that haven't had the vaccine yet, it was fun to have people back in. Just the liveliness was so much better than, because during hybrid, the kids just sat there and they didn't interact. It was almost like they had all experienced a death, and I'm sure some of them have actually. So it was really odd as a high school teacher not to have the bantering and the talking happen. So I do have one high school class that is very lively all the time. That's my second hour. Hey guys. Anyway, they like to interact and that's really fun. So anyway, it's just been more subdued this year, which has been really odd. But now that they're all coming back, they're all about 3 feet apart because that's what the CDC is recommending. And all the way up until now, it's been 6 feet. And so I have mixed feelings about that because these kids are now, if they get exposed by one person, the 6 kids sitting around that person have to quarantine. And there's 7 periods a day. So if one person comes in, at least 42 kids will have to quarantine because if they end up having COVID. So it's going to be a lot more work for contact tracing and a lot more kids out for just being quarantined, which kind of stinks for them. And I feel fortunate because I've had both shots. And so I'm very, very lucky. And every time I hear about somebody else getting their shots, it's like a huge weight is lifted. And so, yeah, so I'm hoping that for many people. Many of you may know that I've struggled with anxiety, and just getting the second shot, I can't tell you how I didn't realize how much it was really affecting me. And just having that, not worrying about it anymore so much. Of course, I'm still masking and taking all the precautions, washing my hands and staying as far away from everybody as I can. But just the relief of knowing that I most likely will not be hospitalized because of getting it. I have asthma, and just, huge relief. And I'm hoping that for all of you, when you guys get your vaccines. So, what a weird year. What a weird year. Okay, moving on. So, what else have I done this week? Let's see here. Wednesday, St. Patty's Day. It was a big day for us because I'm part Irish, and so we had corned beef and cabbage, and that was delicious. And I ate way too much, and I had a food baby that night. But other than that, it was great. But this week just flew by because of the more kids in the school, and the kids. Oh, this is interesting, and I noticed this too. When we went back full time after being at home all the time, we were exhausted by the end of the week and couldn't figure out why, but I think I might have figured being in our own environment, we're not getting stimulated. You know, we're used to everything here. It's not, I know what's in my house. But being at school and having to interact with way more people than we're used to, it was exhausting. I could pass out every night from school. My kids this week, because it was their first week of having 4 days of class in a week, they usually only had 2, and then had 2 at home meeting with me online. They all were saying, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And I'm not surprised by that because of the fact that it was just simply just being overstimulated and not used to all that stuff coming at you and people and talking and seeing different things. And just by the time you get home, you just can't do anything. So I'm not surprised by that. So one other thing is tax season. My husband is working on that part of it, but the good news is we're supposed to be getting our stimulus checks this week. And yes, of course, I've already spent mine. I've already decided we need a new front door, because you stand in front of the front door and your hair literally goes like this because the breeze coming through the front door. And so we're replacing our front door. It's kind of like buying a pair of underwear. Not very exciting. We also decided to just get a quote for our bay window in our kitchen. I noticed it started to kind of slope down. I hope it doesn't fall off. It's going to be like $15,000 to replace that bay window. I don't think that's going to happen this year. So pray for the bay window. I don't want it to fall off my house. Yeah. So the front door was like $7,000. Who would have thunk? So we're going to be doing some more price quoting from other people, but yeah. Way to spend my stimulus money. It needed to be done. One of my favorite podcasters is Arne and Carlos, and I thought I would show you their YouTube channel as well. Here's Arne and Carlos's YouTube channel, and they are really fun. They're out of Norway, and they just kind of they're a couple that live in the mountains of Norway, and they've actually been designers for over 20 years, and so they're pretty well known in the knitting and crochet world. And they have a dog named Freya, and they also have a dog named Helmer. And right now they're in the middle of a spring knit along, and they're making a different, like, Easter egg every day, as you can see down below here. So it's been really fun to watch them. They make me laugh out loud. I highly recommend any of you to go and check it out. And they have some fun, really neat designs as well. This is Toni Lipsey's podcast, and this is her channel on the YouTube channel. And anyway, she is one of my most favorite podcasts to watch. She is really animated and fun, and she has some great things to talk about. So let me just show you a segment of her podcast.
Hey loves, Toni here from TL Yarn Crafts and welcome back to my channel. So the sun decided not to clock in today, but I certainly did. And I've got a fun and free crochet pattern just for you. If this is your first time here, come on in. Welcome. It is so good to meet you. Have you watered your houseplants lately? Here at TL Yarn Crafts, I express my crochet love through product reviews, free patterns, and crochet techniques that will blow your mind. So if you're in for all of those things, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you
This is the Grocery Girls channel, and they are sisters. I think they live up in Canada. And anyway, they are really fun to watch. They have a lot of animation between them. And one of the things I really enjoyed is that they've been having maker spotlights. So they'll interview somebody that's a designer or a dyer in the knitting world and actually get their background, like how they got into the business and just kind of some things that they're involved in. But it's also fun because they share things that they are also in the middle of making themselves. And anyway, very fun, lively broadcast to watch. Urban Yarn. I also really like to watch this channel. He's relatively new to the scene. He's been around for about a year, I guess. He has some really cool ideas of how to put different yarn types together and colors together as well. And he just seems like a super nice guy. So he's just really fun to watch. I highly recommend this one as well. And lastly, I have others, but I think I'm going to show you guys. This is Marley Bird. She is well known in both crochet and knitting, but she does a lot of fun mystery knit and crochet alongs. And right now she is in the middle of the Tournament of Stitches, where it's going to be, I think, 6 weeks long. And she will show a different type of stitch. And by the end of the 6 weeks, you'll have a throw. I did the game day mystery make along, and I also did the turkey trot um, back in November, and made a really cool scarf with pockets in it that I gave my mom, who is using that now because it's easier for her, and she's in assisted living, and she can use the pockets without having to put her arms through an armhole. So, um, and she's just very enjoyable and actually makes a lot of designs. She's a yarn inspirations person and actually has her own line of yarn as well. So that's all I have for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed a little bit of catching up with me, and I hope that you have a fabulous week. If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit subscribe or like or save or make a comment down below in the YouTube channel. Thanks.